Why don't we call this meeting to order? 7:01.
Right. Okay.
All right. Well, we got a couple of nice new things to talk about.
Oh, I'm just pulling up the agenda now.
Sure. I got it right here. We can start right in with public comment. If anyone would like to say anything before we get started, is there anyone here? I think we can go on to our new business and talk about state and local regulations on the trails and sidewalks.
Yes. This is
Well,
something that the town has asked us to take a look at.
yeah,
Um, Basically, the town is looking for guidance on future regulation of e-bikes, e-scooters, different modes of transportation on the trails and sidewalks. Um, Knowing that one, the state of Connecticut is taking a look at this and coming out with some new laws, ones that were just recently passed earlier this year, and ones that we know are coming up in the beginning of 2026. Um, that being said, the town sees this as an opportunity to kind of get ahead of the curve, to try and draft some kind of um, rules and regulations of the trail that may or may not be completely official yet. Um, I know a few ideas have been floating around between different municipalities. One is a speed limit. I think the most common thought number is about 15 miles an hour. Um, that can be done in one of two ways: an ordinance or a local rule. If it's something that's made an ordinance, we have the ability to ticket for it too. So with these, new guidelines that we'd be giving the town to pursue writing ordinances or discussing with other towns, what we would like to see, um, that comes with enforcement as well. So there's going to be a lot of changes in the near future coming to the trails. The e-bike issue, I don't think I really need to get into that. Everyone knows it's an issue at this point. They're just going too fast down the trails typically. Not everybody. There are some bad actors, of course, that, you know, you're basically putting a bullhorn up to your face screaming, I'm a bad actor, when you jet through the trails and then hop off in downtown Unionville and skirt on over to Dunkin' Donuts and then right back on going around traffic and whatnot. We've all seen it at this point. I don't really think we need to get into that, but nevertheless, um, both the town manager's office and the town council would like us to start looking into creating some kind of guidelines and some guidance for the town to take some action on that.
yeah.
So
So,
is there going to be any type of committee for that, or like who's involved in all that?
It's in its
good
infancy right
question.
now. In its infancy right now, Ron. This is the first meeting we're really, talking about it.
Yeah.
At our last meeting, we kind of discussed some of the new changes that are coming and that have passed. But starting from this meeting here tonight, we need to start taking a look at what the actual laws are that have just passed, what's being proposed and what's coming up, and looking at the anticipation on whether that bill will pass or not.
Hmm.
So,
Like
so
I
I,
said before, yep,
let me give you a little background because we've already been in contact on this a little bit.
a little bit, yep,
Um, Bike Walk Connecticut is in the process of formulating a white paper on this.
okay,
Just so you're aware, uh, 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 Amy Watkins, who runs Watch for Me Connecticut, is involved in that process with us at Bike Walk Connecticut. Um, the a couple of important things to note. Nationally, it appears that, and the East Coast Greenway would agree, that 15-mile-per-hour ordinances, rather than an actual, a suggestion. It's not so much the it's not so much the enforcement aspect of this; it's the threat of the enforcement.
Mhm.
So, as a practical matter, we it's going to be very difficult for us, for the police department of Farmington, and quite frankly, any other police department, to meaningfully be able to enforce certain rules. I think that a sidewalk rule is something that is not out of the realm of possibility. 15 miles per hour. Now, I will say this, the operation laws for e-bikes come into effect October 1st this year. So that's just in a couple of weeks. So if nothing else, some of the stuff that's been published out there, Avon Police Department came up with a very good one, by the way. It's rudimentary. It doesn't have everything in it, but it does have some interesting stuff in that I saw just recently from them. And there's some others out there as well that are trying to codify this a little bit, at least for police departments, to be able to consider, what is statutory, what can be dealt with as a state statute. And then I would advise the town very strongly to consider some sort,
15 mile an hour.
Yeah, some sort of an ordinance, and what that actually looks like, Ron, and everyone else, on this call, Brian, it's subject of discussion. I think that, you can go overboard a little bit on this. Some of the cities, for instance, I'll give you an example. New Britain, Hartford, I know, is considering it. They've got part of this. They've gone so far as to, if you're on an unlawful e-bike or anything gas powered, they can actually just be taken away from those folks, and thrown in impound until they appear before a judge. I mean, do we have to go that far? I'm not so sure we do. But
I'm sorry, Bruce. What town was that?
New Britain, and I know that Hartford is looking at it. They've got part of that ordinance already.
Okay. Wow.
And in fact,
Thank you.
it's been in the news a couple of different times. Some of these gangs that are basically terrorizing downtown Hartford, they're breaking them up and taking their bikes and their ATVs away from them, and putting them in impound. I don't think Farmington is there yet. I don't think that's something. That's a very slippery slope that I don't think.
I think that's a second, third, maybe fourth step.
Yeah, I agree.
First step is definitely to implement some kind of ordinance.
And ultimately, just to kind of round out what I wanted to talk about, safety and helmets. There's kids out there on these things. Most of them aren't wearing helmets. Some of them are. That cute little gang that's wandering around Unionville, they're wearing helmets. I thought that was interesting. I don't know, but it's certainly something that we need to address.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the town agrees.
So I just have a couple comments, then I'll leave this alone for right now.
Sure.
This is an eye roll for everyone, but just consider if we would have been teaching our kids in school and been truly ahead of the curve and taught them and had been teaching them right now, maybe they would act a little more responsibly, at least in Farmington out there, if we had a bike safety, a school curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that alone. The other thing, I'm just wondering, we really do have to consider what a speed limit's going to look like. Because let's say someone like Rich is riding at 6 o'clock in the morning, flying down the bike trail, and there's maybe one person who on your left and you're by them, and they complain that you're going 25 miles an hour. I mean, what does that look like? So what like
Oh.
where does it start? Where does it end?
Well, can I say something? I think if that
Yeah.
was the case, that person has a legitimate complaint against me. And nobody should be riding over 15 miles per hour, even when you're near people walking. You got to slow down. And this is common courtesy. I don't know how you're
Yeah.
going to make a law about that. I mean, I think you're right. Education is key, but there's a lot of people that they just don't care anything but about themselves, and no laws are going to change that. But education, yeah, it's common courtesy. See somebody walking, slow down and let them know you're coming.
Right.
That's all I got to say.
No, I have to agree with that. I mean, etiquette is a huge part of this, and that's education. I think, the threat of a ticket, the kind of the big stick concept, in conjunction with, a letter, that goes out, to our policemen and policewomen that urges caution, and quite frankly, urges that educational component. When we're seeing, some of this mischief out there. But I think trail etiquette is somewhat of a different issue than some of the stuff that's going on our sidewalks and streets.
Right. And that's why the town has asked me to, push the issue not just for the trails, but for the sidewalks as well. And to be clear, we could do like a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit on the trail and then lower it to 10 on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
We
So-
can be different. It's completely up to the municipality. In fact, I don't think we necessarily want to go down this route, but you could remove motorized. I'm going to say motorized electric motored vehicles from the trail completely if you needed to,
They could
or
actually do that?
from the sidewalk.
Which I don't think is a bad idea if it gets out of control.
If it gets out of control, but at the same time, we have so many state routes, cars are going so fast. I don't know
That's another.
if parents would be comfortable with, us enforcing a rule that would make their 12-year-old ride their bike to school in the shoulder.
It's a really hard subject. I mean,
It is.
every board that I'm on, this is what begins the meeting, and even at the end, everyone's just it's like, okay, where do we go from here? So I'm glad
Right.
that something has begun, and I would love to be even a small part of it, just to give, whatever suggestions or comments.
Right.
I think
So,
it's important to have people with their feet.
right.
their
So let me,
toes on the-
now that we know the general idea and the general direction that the town would like to see this go in,
Yep.
how do we as a committee want to facilitate that? Do we want to do a subcommittee that meets outside of this group? Do we want to, hash out some ideas here? How do you guys want this to look? And Brian, I'd love your input on that as well.
Yeah. Well, I've, given it some thought since we met with Kathy, and I'm glad to hear that, one, we have her support and the support of the town, not that we didn't before, but this is something
Right.
that she would really like to see us do. And I think if we can turn something around relatively quickly, I think she would like to see us kind of take a lead. And as I've heard from this committee before, Farmington hasn't always been the leader that we would like to be. And I think this is an opportunity to step up and show that we can do that and build on that.
Right.
And I think
Thanks
as Bruce was saying that, Amy at Watch for Me CT and Bike Walk CT are kind of helping us out with whatever they come out with. Maybe we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can see what's
No.
out of that. too.
Right.
Well, I was just
So-
going to ask that very question. Thanks, Ron, because I was wondering. You said that Avon has an ordinance, and there are some other towns and cities that have started doing something. Can we get copies of these so we can maybe find what is working for them and see what fits for Farmington? Because the interesting thing is, as Dylan was saying, they not only want to see what we come up with for the trails, but how does what we come up with the trails, how does that apply to roads and sidewalks in Farmington as well? And we've talked about this, so if we've got the teeth of the town behind us to make something happen, what can we do
Right.
to make that happen?
So, side note here, I know that our new police chief and director of public safety, Paul Melanson, who was the police chief in Avon up until very recently, I believe he is a rider. I believe
Yes.
that's what Kathy said during our meeting, Brian. So
She did.
I know
Yeah,
he is.
he's very much a rider.
Big
Okay.
cyclist.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
yeah.
fact, I think he started doing bike training for police officers in Farmington years ago, and they still come in periodically. They have an academy there.
Right, and that's run by Officer Glaude now, right?
Okay,
Right, Dan?
and I think that started
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
watch.
Claude's
Yeah.
one of our instructors.
Yeah, so we definitely have officers that enjoy riding. So that's a little side note. I don't think enforcement on the trails would be that much of a hurdle to jump over.
Mhm.
But
At least a presence would have that big stick effect that Bruce was talking about.
right. So
I think you guys
right,
all
so
have to be careful of an arbitrary number when you talk about speed. Because what you're really looking for is people passing safely and using the trail safely. So if you get to the
Right.
police officers and talk to them, you know, they're probably not going to be out there with a radar gun checking people's speed. They're going to look for
No.
areas where you have problems. So I'd be very careful about
Yes.
setting up an arbitrary number because, as you said, it's 6 o'clock in the morning when somebody's going to work and there's nobody on the trail. That's one thing compared to a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. Saturday afternoon, the trail is for leisure, not for commuting. When
Yeah.
it's flooded with people rollerblading, walking their pets, biking, scootering, kids trying to get down to the mead, whatever. That's not the time to be, cruising down the trail at 20, 25 miles an hour, trying to beat your top speed.
Right.
Because you just got a
Right,
new
but
brake
that's
job or something.
exactly why you can't put an arbitrary number on the speed
No.
on this. You have to look at
Right.
you have to look at the context.
Yeah.
And I don't have any experience writing an ordinance, but I believe they can write it in a way where it's, at the officer's discretion, given the conditions.
Well, Dylan, we do have town legal support, right? Is it Devin who writes ordinances? He's a lawyer.
Well, no, Devin's not an attorney. We do have town council. We do have a town attorney, so that we could bounce ideas off of.
Okay.
To make sure that it has teeth and it's just not a gummy bite.
Yep, and that it's consistent with town laws and things like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
We have municipal attorneys on.
Does
not
Devin?
on
I'm sorry.
staff,
Does Devin? Yeah. Does Devin work in that office?
No, he works. He's Kathy's assistant, I believe.
Okay.
He is.
Okay.
So my opinion is that we have a subcommittee. And then Dylan, would that just be us, or would that be as part of a bigger town type thing? How does that work?
Well, right now, town manager's office and the council are looking at us just to guide them on which direction to go in. So right now it's just us.
Okay.
So in essence, we need to have either our own white paper or we have to endorse a white paper, in my opinion. Preferably, we should have our own ideas. And I mean, certainly we can take, Amy Watkins' ideas from, Watch from ECT and Bike Walk Connecticut's ideas from their, draft white paper. And maybe this looks more something like us having a meeting with, Watch from ECT and Bike Walk Connecticut to see what their ideas are, and then kind of make a mesh of that so that when Avon, Farmington, Plainville, Canton, all the other towns get together and go, what's our guidance going to be on this?
Yeah, and
Are
just
we doing 10 miles an hour, 15, 20? Is it up to the cop? Is it just a hard number? What are we doing? the key here is going to be uniformity,
Yeah.
Yes.
and that's what we want to get ahead of, so that we're not getting trapped into someone else's perfect idea, because we want it to be our perfect idea.
Yeah.
Right,
Of the
because
trail.
we're a unique community, right? I mean,
We're a
every
unique
part of the
community,
trail
and
is
the
different.
the darn thing is named after Farmington. So
Well, let's take the lead.
yeah,
Is it possible to get some of this resource material that we can start looking at before we get together?
Yeah, I will shoot the town basically what I currently have, and we're looking. So Bike Walk Connecticut. I would also add a couple of other organizations. Sandy Fry is the chair of the Bike Ped Advisory Board. That's the statewide Bike Ped Advisory Board that's legislatively appointed. I am the chair of the Connecticut Greenways Council, which is the other legislatively appointed body in the state. Those two organizations have already agreed to work on this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they've got a lot of resources. My Greenways Council, which actually just met Tuesday, is the captive organization of Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and the Bike Ped Advisory Board is the captive board of Connecticut DOT. Mm-hmm. So those boards do have a lot of clout, and they're already looking to formulate something as well. So this is already percolating statewide.
good.
And I would urge Farmington, as I've urged a couple of other towns that have approached me, to let's see what some of the common
Ideas
interests
and themes are.
Yeah, I mean the last thing I want to see is the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail with 10 different sets of rules.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody wants no one wants that.
No.
Right. I thought like it was supposed to be very collective and seamless from one community to the other.
Yeah.
How does this fit in if different communities have different speed limits?
Well, the different communities have to write ordinances that match each other. They can have slight differences, but as long as the overarching idea is the same.
Mm.
Yep.
So
Dylan, what you're asking after talking to Kathy is for us to kind of get out in front of this, right? To put our ideas down. They may not be what's in the final ordinance.
right.
What would we like to? Yeah. What would we like to see?
100%, Neil.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Kathy's envisioning.
Yeah. So the answer to your question is as I see things occurring. And by the way, Avon, just so you're all aware, that what I saw from Avon was not an ordinance. It was just a letter basically that was produced by the police department.
Okay.
And it was pretty rudimentary. For instance, it did not have a speed limit on it. It was really more to discuss what's going to be the rules of the road or the rules of the trail on October 1st. And maybe we should start with that, quite frankly. So that's the e-bike bill that passed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there are some things in there that are relatively important, including right-of-way passing and some other things that are in there that really should be addressed by the town.
Yeah, and you're right. This is going to be first draft of a living, breathing document that we're going to be working on for a little while.
That's my guess. Yes.
Yeah. But let's get ahead of it with what is important to us as a community that we can bring to the table when we do get together.
So yeah, I'd be happy to participate in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it possible to get this information like by early next week so we can maybe get together after that as soon as possible?
I mean, I'd be open to meeting early next week.
Yeah.
If that were possible.
Yeah. And if we could get some information that we can review individually before we sit down so we can bring some thoughts to the table rather than review it there.
I'm around Monday and Tuesday. Be aware that Bike Walk Connecticut's board of directors meets Wednesday night.
Okay.
And I know that's on the agenda. This is on that agenda as well. So
I imagine it's on a lot of agendas right now.
it's on everyone's agenda. Yeah.
Yeah.
it basically is at this point. I will try to shoot you what I can find. I need to talk to. I have an early morning meeting with Amy Friday
Mhm.
on
Okay.
this and a couple of other issues related to Bike Walk Connecticut. So let me see what I can put together. Shorter term. That'll at least be a start.
Mhm.
Right.
That would be awesome. And then maybe we get together maybe Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday,
Okay.
16th. Yeah.
Neil, does that work for you, or is that a bad day?
Tuesday is probably a bad day for me next week. But
Okay.
don't let me hold it up, because I can always catch up.
Okay. We'll probably do like a Google Docs or something like that of notes or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably the best way to do it
Right.
is just to throw everything in one place and see what sticks. And
Can you guys get a copy of the Avon white paper?
I thought it's funny. I just went to look for it, Matt. I thought I saved it, but I don't think I did. Oh, which is bizarre. But I'll get it. I'll find it.
Bruce, if we could get that information by Friday, and that way you or I could send it out to everybody here by Friday. That way you have the weekend and Monday for everyone to look at it, whether you're part of the subcommittee or not.
No, it's a
You
good
can
idea.
At least put your thoughts into an email or something
Yeah,
like
that'd
that.
be good because I'm not going to be around on Tuesday evening. So.
Right. So that way,
It's just our
this
initial
is a
meeting looking at
collaborative
stuff. So.
effort. Yeah.
All right, I'll make that happen. I'll get whatever we can find that's current.
Great. Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
And I'll work on my end too. All right.
So next Tuesday, the 16th at 7. Is that something you could set up, Dylan?
At 7,
Or really any
no.
time? Okay, what's a good
For
time?
For me, it will have to be before 4:30 because
Okay.
I won't have access to the Zoom after that.
You want to just do 4 o'clock then?
What did you say?
You want to try 4 o'clock?
Probably too late. Do 3 or 3:30 if you can.
Okay.
Currently, that's open for me. If we schedule it now, I might actually have a chance of making it.
Okay. Tuesday the 16th. You guys, I can join you afterwards. I've got a class from 3 to 4. But
Okay.
don't wait on me. You guys get right ahead because I will pop in when I can.
All right.
Is
Well,
Monday better? Because Monday might be better for me, actually.
Monday.
You're talking Monday night now?
I can make
15th.
we can hash this out over email
Yeah.
if you'd like.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we can.
I just
All right.
figured I'd try while we were here, but
Yeah. Well, let's pencil it in Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Bruce and I, you and I can meet, and then Brian will fill you in.
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
If we can't do Monday.
All right. Ron,
Yeah.
I saw your hand.
No, I mean for the meeting, yeah.
Oh, you'll be there? Great.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
All right.
So Tuesday at 3 right now. If that changes, obviously you'll get an email, everyone.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Great.
All right. Why don't we move on to proposed projects? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the other thing that we discussed at our meeting is looking at projects that we can do around town. A lot of what we've all talked about over the last 2 years, different smaller projects here and there. We'd like to shine some more light on those at this point. So we've been asked to make a list, 5 7, 8 different small item kind of things that we can have our public works crews pick at when they have spare time throughout the summers, throughout the years. So I know that there are a couple ones that popped into my mind immediately. The wayfinding
list going?
signage through the flat. What?
Do you have a list going?
I have a mental list
There you go.
of
That's all we
different,
need.
of different topics that have come up that we can shine new light on and hopefully get accomplished. Like I said, these projects are supposed to be things that the town can work towards throughout the year, you know, whether it be the winter, spring, summer, fall. So, you know, they're not going to happen overnight, but one day you'll wake up, get in your car, go to work, and you're going to see something new. Or you're going to be on the trail and see one of those projects implemented. So, and this can be, you know, it's an open door right now, but the idea is to make it accomplishable in a short amount of time so that, you know, maybe between paving rounds, they can squeeze in, you know, a day or two here to get this done.
Dylan, is one of the things on there the bollard removals?
Bollards can be on there. Yes. Removal is a longer conversation, but for all of those double, triples, ones that are you know, in need of, you know, a repainting, that will all be on there. So
I
bollard,
noticed
general
less.
bollard maintenance. What was that, Neil?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I noticed yesterday when I was on the trail from, I think, Oak Ridge through down south a little ways. Most of those bollards have been removed, and I don't see them anyplace. Typically, if the town takes them out to drive, you know, tractor down there, they lean them against the fence. So, have
Interesting.
they been removed, or did the
No.
kids on the, you know, throw them in the woods or something?
No, they have not been removed, not to my knowledge. And we weren't planning on doing any removals right now. Again,
Okay.
I don't think that's changed since last week, Brian. So,
The next time somebody's in the area, maybe they should take a look.
yeah. So bollards where? Oak Ridge to
Yeah,
south of
I
Oak
noticed
Ridge?
them along the the Oak Ridge and then heading to the south from there.
I thought we were looking at those as more of a hazard than a help.
Yeah.
Well, I have to. So I did a deep dive into, you know, what the Federal Highway Administration guidelines are and what the different AASHTO's guidelines are and what MUTCD guidelines are. And essentially, and I know what the, you know, Farmington Valley Trails Council guidelines are too. I have those in front of me as well. But essentially, at certain points in the trail, we need to be able to have some kind of turn for vehicles. And that's why they're there in the first place. Obviously, the double and triple
So
ones.
how's Avon getting away with not having any? That's what I want to know.
I spoke with the gentleman at Avon that implemented that. Avon was sued by somebody who was leaning up against one and it fell and he broke his collarbone. So after that suit, they saw them as a legal issue. Now, how somebody, you know, I'm figuring average build is leaning up against a 3-4 foot bollard and has enough force to knock it over, I'm imagining that they were in poor condition, rusted out at the bottom or something to that nature. There was something wrong with that bollard. So the town actually went through and they removed them, most of them, if not all of them. I do believe that they still have some at certain points at intersections where they want to deter traffic that is not permitted onto the trail.
Yeah,
But-
they do. They kept some at Country Club and a couple other
Yeah.
places. They just had to. And again, this goes back to keeping cars off.
Right.
But the doubles and triples, are overkill.
Right. Now, those are
That's something we could address.
right. And the double and the triples, those were built to the standards at the time.
Yep.
Our trail system isn't as new as Plainville's or Southington or other towns. Ours was, I believe, one of the first. Correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, but
Well, a piece of it's 94.
right. And
And subsequent years, thereafter, and best practices have changed over the years.
right. So those older pieces, like the ones over by River Road, have the double and the triples just because that's what the standard was. Those were the design standards that the Federal Highway Administration had and the DOT had, and frankly, they paid for the project too. So
And
They
some
did.
of them,
you have to follow their standards when they're paying for it. I have to follow their standards when they're paying for Burlington Road. They have to come through and they have to review the plans just like any other project that someone else is paying for. But
Okay.
I don't want to get stuck in the past here. I want to look forward. So knowing that the doubles and the triples are an issue, I want to put on the list. I believe we can saw cut the triples, the two on the outskirts, leave the center one,
Mm-hmm.
and have the center one repainted.
That's
I think that's okay.
That's what I would do.
I don't
Yeah.
know for certain, but that is
I
something
think
that can be done.
I think a review of AASHTO and NACTO, those are the two that most closely align, and pretty much what everyone's using.
Right. And they both, to quote them, they both state in different ways, but generally speaking, jurisdictions have options to discourage motor vehicles from entering a shared use path at a curb ramp or other intersection.
Mhm.
And then one of them even goes to say, so the Federal Highway Administration specifically allows the use of bollards as such deterrent.
Yep, deterrence. Yeah, that's
Right.
correct. That's
and
my
that
opinion.
hasn't changed.
No, that has
So-
not changed. No.
It is completely up to the town's discretion on where those get placed and where they get removed. Again, that's why Avon can go ahead and just rip them all out, because probably one of their attorneys just said, get rid of them. Or maybe they looked at the maintenance cost to get them all up to snuff and they said, let's just take them out. Because there is a national movement to remove bollards. I'm not discarding that at all. So-
Okay, one of the things I'd recommend to you guys just to consider is painting them a color that can be seen in low light, as well as possibly putting reflective material all the way around the bollard, because you can come in at an angle and not see those
And miss
things if
that.
you're coming off a river road, let's say. And that's the kind of thing that if we make a good faith effort to at least make them really visible, we're less likely to have
Right.
somebody whack one. So
Yep.
Right.
And,
So that's-
and Matt, that is best practices right now. So that's that guards or fly yellow, that low light paint, and then the 3-inch wide reflective 3M tape.
okay,
Once
perfect.
the paint dries, that's best practices right now. Is doing it that way.
Right. And that's
Okay.
going to be under the overarching idea of bollard maintenance. So repainting, new reflectors.
Yep.
How about a
So
sign
that's
for
something
the water
that'd
fountain?
probably be a pretty good winter project.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
If you pop them out of the ground, they do it during the winter.
right. And then to be more specific, I know we have several locations where we have the double and the triples. Most of them are kind of in the Unionville area. That's the oldest part of our trail system. And
Yep.
as you guys are riding, if you see one that you think can be removed, I mean, think about it. Don't just email me and say, Dylan, all of them can be removed.
Oh,
But-
come on, Dylan. I was going to do that tonight.
Right. I don't need 20 emails tonight. All of them can be removed. But think about it from our perspective, where we're trying to make sure that vehicles aren't getting on the trail. I know it's possible to do it by going through the fence or finding a gap. Some vehicles are small enough to squeeze between the fence and the bollard anyways. I get that, but it's a visual cue that a vehicle shouldn't be going down there. And that's
Sure, a little common sense.
it's a layer of safety.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to belabor this point, but I'd love to see a town-wide bike rack review
Okay.
of some kind or another. And Ron's been on this for Christ, Ron, a decade. I don't know. But that picture, I can't remember whose picture it was, of the bike racks full at the high school made my heart go pitter patter. I recall I graduated from that high school in '79, and if you rode your bicycle to the high school, you probably got beat up. I mean, I love to see it. And what's stopping us from having a little fund, for instance, or something like that? If a business says, I'd love to have a bike rack.
Okay.
The libraries come to mind.
Right. And I think, Ron, you brought this up at our last meeting, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So I know I told Ron, Neil, and Carolyn, but I did have a meeting with Jocelyn over at the Farmington Library. She is looking to replace that one. She actually has been for a few months. She just gets so far and then doesn't pull the trigger.
Would you like a recommendation from the committee?
Well, what I was doing is I actually recommended her the same bike racks that we have installed at the high school and we'll be installing at the new town hall.
Yeah.
That way they all match. I think it's aesthetically the best way to go about this. I mean, they're all on the same campus.
Nice. Thank
Unless
you.
someone has an objection to that, but I think those are kind of the gold standard, Ron, if I'm not mistaken.
Those are great.
So the loop ones is
Yep.
kind of their general term.
Yeah, no, most cities are using those now. They're the easiest, and also they're easy to maintain. And
Right.
Yep.
Right.
We ran past the high school again today. It started off with a little drizzle this morning and the bike racks were all full again, so they are getting used.
Great.
Pretty awesome.
Great. Okay. I was bringing up the wayfinding or pathfinding signage.
Yeah.
Or not signage, but plaques.
Yeah.
For the Highlands. I know that was something Ron brought up, and I think it was brought up years before too. Right?
Yeah.
So I think I still have the presentation for that, or I should.
Yeah, that was Doug had it all mapped out.
Yeah, Doug Gerlach, right? Yeah, I probably have that too. If you can't find it,
we called it Doug's Trail, I think, or Doug's whatever.
So
We'll call it Doug's Way.
is this the signs from the bike path, saying this way to high school, library, town hall?
Yeah, it would be like, follow the yellow brick road, and then yellow plaques would be every so often.
That would be awesome, and that's a perfect DPW job for when there's a free, hour or two.
Right, and whether it be a plaque or a little bit of paint on the ground, I think they both get the message across.
I'm thinking a little plaque on a sign on the utility pole or something like that, or even we put our own pole in, would be better, because in the wintertime you're not going to see it if it's buried under snow. And then it probably doesn't need to have it repainted every X years, but
I agree.
Right.
Snow and leaves in the autumn.
and it's like what the Farmington Valley Greenway's done going through Plainville, where you've got the on-road sections, every before a turn or something like that, a little arrow pointing up for straight, right for right turn. and then maybe on the bike path itself, town hall, whatever, 0.3 miles or something like that.
Yeah, in fact, I put those arrows in Plainville.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Bruce.
Yeah. Well, you gotta, you have to do it. It's wayfinding is really very important, particularly when you're getting off a trail, we're trying to get to a trail.
Right. So I think the implementation of that for the Highlands, at least to start, would be a good one as well to have on there. Are there any other projects that anyone can think of?
Can you put a sign up for that water fountain, which is really nice, by the way? But I don't think anybody knows it's there. Oh, is it?
We have it. They were going to do it last week, and then one of the fiber companies went through and dug up that whole stretch.
Okay.
So they waited. It's
Okay,
here. It's in the shop. It's a nice little water fountain with a guy hitting the button and drinking the water.
Yeah, it's a great. That's a great great addition to the trail in Farmington. And
yeah,
Bruce, I don't know if you remember, but I think it was like 16, 17 years ago. I reached out to you to have my son looking to do that as an Eagle project with the Scouts.
Yeah, no, I do recall. Yeah,
it's nice to see it's finally there.
Yeah, it took forever to get that.
Yeah,
Unionville water fountain in a long time. Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the other thing I was thinking of was, you mentioned just taking down part of the fence by the coffee shop there in Unionville. I mean, that's a simple thing that could be done, just so people can ride right off to that coffee shop.
Good memory. There should be more access there. Yes.
Yeah. And then on the trail along Meadow Road, there's some, I don't know if you want to call them sinkholes, but there's a few dips along that could throw somebody off that's not expecting them. So that's a little repair job. If you could just walk, patrol that trail and look for dips. There's quite a few of them that could really throw you for a loop if you're not looking carefully.
And that's through the flats.
Yeah, the trail along Meadow Road. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And they did finally, the town did get my potholes that I put work orders in for. And I appreciate that, but they did miss one that I kind of described. So I'll put in another thing on that. But I know that's a continuing maintenance thing. Every flood that comes and goes.
Potholes are pesky.
Yeah. And one last thing I just wanted to say, I don't know how many people get through West Hartford or travel through West Hartford, but they're doing quite a bit with speed bumps. And I think I've mentioned this last week, speed bumps and, I don't know if you call them barricades, but bump outs around corners and crosswalks and things. And I don't know if they're designed to be like this, but I always ride on the inside of them because there's openings in them.
Yes.
And
that's what the openings are for, Rich.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. I just I guess not educated on it, but they do give you a level of comfort and safety when you're going through intersections, as far as somebody giving you a right hook or not giving you enough room at those intersections. So I don't know. I kind of see them and I assume it's the town is doing them. The town is doing them. I had a long conversation with them about their I'll call it means and methods of traffic. Yeah, I don't know if that's something Farmington wants to do. But it does slow cars down, especially the speed bumps. It slows cars down.
Speed tables, right?
Yeah, speed tables.
I think they're using speed tables.
So
4 of them on the boulevard.
New Haven just started too.
Yeah, it's actually it's 2 in the north of New Haven and 4 in Hamden. And that project recently started. Those are speed tables, so called. So for the Canal Heritage Trail, and I'm watching that project very closely as a safety project. And I think if any of us get a chance to go down and look at that, I think that's going to be really interesting to see, how that works, how it operates. They've been very successful around the country. We haven't seen too many in Connecticut yet. There's some downstate, but this is the first on the Canal Heritage Trail. And then, of course, New Haven, West Hartford has got a couple that they're working on as well. So stay tuned, but I'm cautiously optimistic about them.
Neil's trying to.
Yep, I got him.
Okay, good.
Neil, I can't promote you to a panelist because you're on your phone, but I have given you permission to speak. So I hope that helps.
Mhm.
You are mute though, however, right now.
But anyway, to finish the West Hartford thing, they're doing some interesting stuff. Are they doing everything exactly correctly? I'm not so sure. There's some of the ways they're moving some of their bike lanes in particular. I think it's a little weird. But we'll see. I got to give them kudos for trying. Let's.
I believe currently they're bumping the bike lanes where they have bike lanes and curb cuts or curb extensions. They moved the bike lane out beyond the curb extension.
Correct. Yes.
Because the curb extension is really there for pedestrians, not for cyclists or any other mode of transportation that uses a bike lane. I'm not saying, Rich, what you're doing is wrong. I frankly, to be honest, I'm not sure if that's right or wrong. I couldn't give you guidance either way. But I looked at a plan of theirs earlier today, and I noticed that they were doing a new bike lane somewhere in town, and they had a proposed curb extension. They moved everything out past the curb extension.
Yeah, I think the problem, and sorry to interrupt you, Ron. I think the problem in a place like West Hartford is amount of traffic and speed.
Right.
As it relates to somebody like Rich who's trying to get to work and not want to get mowed down.
Right. Right.
It's a real it's not an easy thing.
So what I like about West Hartford is they are being very proactive. They're following the Vision Zero guidelines, and they're getting a lot of crap from people who just are stuck in their old ways and don't understand what it's like to be a pedestrian, what it's like to be a cyclist. When it comes to the bump outs, the safest place for the cyclist safest thing to do is take the lane, be in the middle of that lane so nobody can cut you off to make a right-hand turn around you. So that's what I've been doing. I take the middle of the lane, and that way you control the traffic behind you and you're seen.
Yeah. And of course, bump outs for pedestrians, the idea is to create a situation where you're in a travel lane for a much shorter period of time.
Right.
That's the safety aspect of it, right?
Right.
And the bump outs act as essentially refuge islands, right? So if you can get your ass to one side or the other, you're safe.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Do we have any other ideas of trail projects or other kinds of projects that promote sidewalk?
I got one last thing I just thought of.
Yep.
I've been riding over the Putnam Bridge the last couple of weeks on my way to work, and when you get from Old Weathersfield to get to the Putnam Bridge bikeway, you got to go through on-ramp. Well, you don't go through one of them is an on-ramp, I think.
Yeah, it's a chicane, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all sorts of crazy stuff to get through these, off ramps and on ramps to the highway to get to the trail. But they've done a real simple thing with cones, and paint to make it somewhat safe, you know? Of course, you always got to watch out for everybody running a stoplight, or stop sign. But I guess my point is, it's something very simple that you could do on, guess what I'm going to say, the jug handle. So I'll just throw it out there.
Well, I mean,
It's a temporary thing, but
those are in proper parlance pop-up bike lanes.
exactly.
And so, basically it would be, a test, and you use cones instead of, Jersey barriers or whatever. But, you use something that's movable. The idea would be potentially in certain areas, you could put in, fiberglass delineators or some other kind of buffer.
And what's great is then you can put people there, Bruce, right? To like
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
observe and to collect data and then to see how it worked out.
Yeah, because the idea with doing those pop-ups is to actually see what the response is.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, and of course, obviously the safety aspect, but because if you're going to spend a lot of money on doing, for instance, what West Hartford's doing, you damn well should know if someone's going to actually use it. So I like the concept of pop-ups, and paint's easy. You can take paint off.
That might be worth looking at for sure. Maybe find a place where we might consider testing it.
Okay.
Even for a bike to school event, I've often wondered. I mean, the police department does an unbelievable job. You almost don't need to. But in some of the schools where they haven't approved our routes, right, Neil? Is Neil still here? You can do a pop-up lane and allow the kids to use that and to try to control traffic with like Farmington Police Department. But yeah, they're really useful and they're used all over the place.
Yeah, he's done a lot of that and extremely well. Particularly before they go for a grant to do it for real, is New Britain does that really well.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah, I
doing
feel
with
like
that?
they're always a little ahead of the curve over there.
Yeah, it's Mark Moriarty and
Yeah.
CJ Ganza and those guys. They just do a great job.
Mark, yeah.
Thank you for explaining that. I had never heard of pop-up bike lanes before, so thank you.
Next time I'm over that way, I'll take a couple pictures and just share it with the group.
Hey, and I was just reading online, West Hartford was testing pop-up bike lanes. There was an article in August, so then that was last year.
Yep, they did. They did a couple of roads, if I recall correctly.
So if you follow the West Hartford Bike Discussion Group, I think it's called, Bruce, you'll get updates on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, I'm on that one.
Yeah.
And there's some others around the state too that have some good stuff.
Is there anything else that we'd like to discuss in terms of projects, or shall we move on to our old business just to make sure we have everyone heard tonight?
Brian, are sidewalks and the sidewalk plan part of old business or projects?
Sidewalks were not part of the old business. What would you like to talk about in terms of sidewalks, Andres?
Well, I know we wanted to kind of come up with a master plan for adding new sidewalks, and then you said that town council has a sidewalk committee.
Correct.
And just wanted to see where that stands, and then if we can get some of those sidewalks to help get folks by Middle Road and get things to like Irving Robbins and those neighborhoods around there where there's just gaps and parents are scared of letting their kids ride to school.
Sure, fair. Where we are on that is I submitted, we're creating a rough list, but the next thing that we would like to do is go out to the community and tell them what we're doing and get input from the community as well before we prioritize the list of what we're going to do in terms of sidewalks.
Is that something you think will happen in September?
I know, absolutely. Oh, you mean, well, which thing? The sidewalks? No. The meeting? I don't think it would happen in September, maybe October.
Okay, yeah, I was just thinking getting input and, so when that happens, you can count on us to kind of drum up some support too.
Absolutely. And when we do have our meeting, I'll let you know. And if there's anyone who would like to come and speak about anything, I'll give you the opportunity. Well, I mean, I won't give it to you. You get it.
Sure. Yeah, because Eli's on, travel soccer, so we're seeing parents all around town, past, where the Highlands where we're from. And I know Jimmy Ratcliffe's, his son is, on baseball, and you're socializing with a lot of other parents. And like right now, both their boys are 9 years old, and that's prime cycling age. And it'd be great to foster that and encourage that, because, once the kids are into middle school, and then into high school, past that, we've lost them.
Yeah. In fact, since you brought it up, I was walking with Andrea from the Board of Ed, and I was talking about our curriculum, which is available. And she said there is already a curriculum in the school for bike riding. I was kind of under the impression that we didn't have that. Do you have anything accurate, or what? What's the what is that curriculum that she was mentioning?
We have curriculum, however, it's a bit outdated, and is in need of a revamp.
Okay.
Hey, Dylan, can you send me a copy of that curriculum, and maybe I can do some work on it?
I can. I'm in the process of passing samples from Safe Routes to School of curriculums that they've helped implement in other towns, like Farmington, to our curriculum department, specifically the wellness director, who kind of heads that aspect of the curriculum. So they're going to be getting some samples. I spoke with Dan Zatoon, who is our what's his title? Assistant superintendent of schools, I believe, and finance and operation, or superintendent of finance and operation. I spoke with him. He's very much on board with that plan. As some of you know, Kathy Greeter has retired, and she's on right now until they find somebody. But in the event that they don't find somebody, I believe Dan is the interim, school superintendent. So Dan's is getting me in touch with the right people from the Board of Ed to pass on those samples to. And then once they have those samples and time to look at them, Brian we'll have a meeting with them.
Yeah, that hasn't.
Bridget Moriarty.
Awesome.
Sorry, what was that?
That hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
No, Bridget's got to get me the samples, and then got to forward those along.
And are we going to loop James in too, since you're talking about reaching out to a Board of Ed member? Because I certainly think he would be a contact to have there. And if you have someone else in mind, I'd love to have them there as well.
Right. So my idea is you, James, those folks at the curriculum office, to meet and to discuss, and Bridget, of course, the curriculum and the vision of the group. And then I know, Ron, I think you had some interest in attending the meeting last we spoke as well.
Yes.
So some kind of form of that.
Okay.
Sounds like a group.
Yeah.
If we need bicycles, winding trails, bought a whole fleet of bicycles that they have on hand for their summer camp. They've got a mountain bike unit in summer camp. And so Eli took that, and this is the first I was hearing of it. And I'm sure if we needed to borrow bicycles for the schools, I'm sure some kind of arrangement could be done with winding trails.
Yep.
It's nice to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
Cycle Connect has their fleet as well. I think it's 30 or 40 they've got, something like that.
Yeah. They,
Right. There's a couple of bike fleets around the state that the town can get in line for, or there's a couple different grants. I know we're aware of that $5,000 micro grant for things such as like helmet fittings and
Hmm.
bike bells and things like that we can get.
I think that
Um,
would when Noah Wallace bought their fleet outright, it was $6,000. The PTO raised the money for their, and that's the only school that like has an on-bike curriculum, I think, is Noah Wallace.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was like a brainchild of Max Felter is his
So they
last.
have bikes too?
They got bikes for $6,000. They got a fleet of bikes that go from without pedals, and then you add pedals to them, so their kindergartners learn to ride. But it was only $6,000. I'm not that
Hmm.
Yeah,
in the scene.
That's all right.
Eli did preschool over at Noah Wallace, and that was Max Pantel, the gym
Yes.
teacher there. And they had the bike unit, and kids learned to ride bikes, and that's fantastic because I mean you've got the age of like, oh my God, kids can ride a bike. This is amazing. And then you've got like upper, third, fourth, fifth, sixth graders where now they're zipping around the neighborhood going friends to friends' houses on their own. And I mean, what a taste of independence.
Yeah.
Like we've all had that, and
High
this is
school.
why we love it. And I think that's a big part of what we want to foster in Farmington.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's within reach, it seems, especially with a grant. They didn't even have a grant. They just raised the money.
Wow.
I think
That's
it,
awesome. I didn't
yeah.
realize that. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, that's DOT's small grants program, and they're going to reinstitute it. They did a little presentation yesterday at the Green West Council meeting, and they're going to do that again, as well as community connectivity and some other programs that
Great.
DOT does. So, yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well, I think sooner is better than later if we could get that meeting going.
Yeah, I'll speak with Bridget. Maybe you, me, and Bridget can meet that way,
Absolutely.
and James
Yeah.
to get the ball rolling a little bit faster. And then once we get the sample curriculum in the hands of the curriculum office, I think that's the appropriate way to approach this.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you disagree or have a different thought, let
You
me
know, I
know,
think
and
a step forward
we
is
can
a
do
step
that
forward.
as well.
Yeah.
But I think at least getting the curriculum office a sample of what
Yeah.
we would like to see implemented would help guide that discussion further than meeting saying, all right, well, this is what we want, here's the sample, and for them to say, all right, well, we need time to go through this and compare it to what we already have.
Yeah, to have us, James be an advocate for us at the Board of Ed, that would be helpful as well. So
Right.
be excited about it. You want to
Yep.
move on to the Farmington Valley Trails Council update? Do you have
Sure.
anything for us, Ron?
Can't hear you, Ron.
Ron?
first
Take-
time you couldn't hear me talk. We just had the meeting 2 nights ago, so you'd think I would remember. Well, one thing I do need to ask, and it has to do with because we've recreated the entire map, and they're being printed soon. Dylan, once the town vacates Depot Place, which they're going to do eventually, right?
I don't know. I'm
Oh,
not
okay. I
included
thought
in
those
that.
offices were going to be moving. All right, so then we
Those,
don't know
I
what's gonna-
believe they are. I don't know
Yep.
if the town is going to hold the lease.
Okay, because it's listed as a parking area, and I just didn't know if you knew how that was going to move forward, but we don't know. So,
I have no idea. If
Okay.
you write me an email, I will follow up with it.
all right.
And then just include yourself and then probably someone else from the Trails Council.
I'll do the map guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Norm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Norm.
Norm. No, they've done a good job on the new maps. I saw the draft. They look good.
Yeah. Okay, that's about it.
Thank
All
you.
right.
How about Bike Walk Farmington? Any
All
update?
right. So Neil can't talk right now. He can only listen. I should let Carolyn. So Neil, Carolyn, and myself, we will be holding a program October 1st at the Farmington Library called Your Bicycle, Yourself. Bike basics for all ages. Carolyn, you can chime in whenever you want, but it's going to be from 6 until 7, but then we're going to have an interactive part after 7 o'clock. And we're going to do just skills like, basic bike knowledge, ABC checks, and how to change a flat, trail etiquette, like the principles of like which way to walk on the road, why it's different walking on the road and walking on the trail, why it's not different riding your bike on the trail and riding on the road as far as the direction goes. Things like that. And what Carolyn and Neil don't know is that I've come up with a program. It's a sticker. It's called Bike Walk Farmington Bicycle Safe Driver or something. So there's a 50-question test that the kids will be able to give to their parents. The kids will have the sticker, and once their parents pass the test, the kids will then be able to give the sticker to their parents. So I just got done with the artwork for the sticker. I think it came out pretty cool. And the 50-question test, I should actually send it to Bruce just to see if I screwed anything up. Oh, and Amy Watkins is going to be there as well to probably talk a little bit about e-bikes, more about how like the decision-making process of letting your child actually have one and when to let them have one, opposed to, okay, well, they have one and now what? So we have her. Rich, I think you said that you wanted to come along and do the tire changing. Did you mention that during one of the meetings?
I did, but what did you say the date was? October 4th?
October 1st, it's
It's the
Wednesday at 6.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of the country that day.
Oh,
That's okay. We have a backup version of
All
you,
right,
but
good.
hopefully
I'm sorry.
you're going
Yeah, I would
somewhere
love to
nice,
do it, but I'm going
hopefully.
to be out of the country that day.
okay. So that's the program. Now we do need people because I think I'd mentioned with the library, they're pretty tough. You don't draw enough people, you get banned for several years. No more programs. So we need to have a good showing. So invite your friends, their kids, hoping to get, we're going to do helmet checks as well and hand out our little helmet check stickers. Looking
So,
forward to it.
yeah, we want to
Go ahead.
families, people, but people of all ages can come. But yeah, we're kind of imagining that families, maybe families with young kids will come, and it's just familiarizing yourself with, like Ron said, with your bike and just general rules. So what we can do within an hour. We're hoping it's like relatively interactive, but we're still developing the our program.
We have our dress rehearsal in about a week.
Yeah. What were you saying, Brian?
You want people to bring their bikes with them?
No.
No? I mean, they could.
Just not
We're gonna
in the
have a more
library.
hands-on afterward. You can
All
stay
right.
a little later and do the
If
flat
I
stick.
say something, I want to know that I'm telling them the right thing.
Yeah, no, it's not like bring your bikes and ride around the library, maybe.
I don't know. I wasn't sure what you were going to do, so I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
We'll end up doing that in next year for our bike rodeo. We'll be bringing that back again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good time to collect emails, though.
Yeah.
All right.
And then if anyone here wants to come along, I know it's Wednesday, it's the middle of a week. You all are very busy, but it would be great to have anyone from the committee.
I got it on my calendar.
Oh, thank you.
But of course, I put in at 6 a.m. I go, that's wrong.
We won't be
we
there.
will not be there.
All right. So do you want to move on to the recreational trails grant? Anything going on with the RFP, Dylan?
No update, as of now.
Okay. Is there a particular holdup that's keeping it from getting through?
Uh, not, not really. We had a lot of projects going on throughout the summer,
Okay.
that were taking up most of our time. Now that those are kind of dying down and getting behind us, we're, going back into the planning and bidding phase of our cycle. So we'll be
Is it
doing that soon, I
like,
imagine.
where like kind of like sidewalks, there's only a particular time that you send an RFP out for something like this, or can you submit that anytime?
Oh, well, for design, it's anytime.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah,
no,
I'm less concerned about design. I think, in fact, honestly, fall's not a bad time for an RFP
Right.
because, you're seeing some of the consultants wind down some other work. So we might get one or two more bids. Who knows? But I would like to see it come out soon.
Yep, me too.
All right. I'm just curious as I learn the RFP process for different things, municipal things. I don't know if
Right.
it's nothing like other bids.
No, no, for design, it's not as, there's not a big time frame. For construction, there is, because you have your contractors that are looking for work, in the fall and, late summer months,
Okay.
where you can get, the idea is you're getting better pricing because it's, they're being a little bit more aggressive with their bids,
Yeah,
as opposed to
yeah,
February, March, April, where they know what they're doing that year and they can be a little bit more generous with their bids, with their
yeah.
themselves.
The only time you run into some seasonal issues is surveying, and bits and pieces of uh, uh, um, some of the deep stuff, permitting.
Right.
But
But
otherwise, it's really not much
yeah,
of a seasonal issue, Brian.
Okay.
and this isn't really a seasonal one either, because it's a 12 to 18 month duration.
Okay. Do you have an update on the website?
Yeah, I think we're all set, although I know that I think they missed one of the added paragraphs, Carolyn.
Okay.
And I tried to track him down this afternoon and I couldn't find him. His car was in the parking lot, but I couldn't find him. So he's probably at the library, because I know he was doing some stuff over there, or maybe the Staples House. But he already knows about it. He's going to get that back up there.
Thank you.
Yep. But other than that, everything's up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It's just the one thing, one section about the survey, but we have the report card up and everything else.
Nice.
Yes. So one hiccup, but we'll get there.
Awesome. What about item 5, the Bike Walk Vibrant Community Forum update?
I don't think
Um,
Neil's microphone is working.
No, that didn't quite get off the ground, so we will reconvene and we'll get back to you on that.
No worries. Should we take that off the old business list for now and put it back out when it comes back to life?
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
okay.
All right. And what about the Safe Routes to School curriculum?
Like I said before, we're gonna get those samples over to the Board of Ed.
Beautiful. Yeah.
UB, Bridget, and James will have a quick meeting to discuss what the group would like to see move forward. And then hopefully the curriculum office likes what they see and they accept those programs kind of as is. If not, we can work with Bridget and her team to kind of tailor them to what the town needs, to fit in with their schedule and the other curriculum that they need to do. Now, I think I said this before, but you have to remember, anything that we add in, that means something's getting taken out.
Right.
So it's going to be a little bit of a balance. of what we have and what we're missing and what we need.
Mhm.
So just keep that in mind. I only know that because my mother was a school teacher for many, many years. And hearing all those conversations about, oh, well, the state said we have to do this, but then I have to take this out because I only have 180 days to play with, and I can't
Right.
make a 2-day lesson a 1-day lesson, or here nor there. But
Well,
nevertheless,
but it's obvious that kids are riding bikes when we have that many bikes in the rack. And whoever took that picture, thank you for taking and sharing that picture. That was you, Andrews, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for that. That was awesome to see.
yeah,
All we have to do is send them that picture and go, yeah, they're riding bikes to high school. They better start learning early on, and we'll fill more
Right.
bikes.
Yeah,
So is it?
of the bikes, there was probably 2 e-bikes and an electric scooter there too, so kids are riding them. And I mean, I know we're bike walk, bike ped focused, but scooters are there too,
All the more reason to talk about how we want people to operate them in the public.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't really mention it, but scooters, and micro mobility devices, I suppose, in planner speak, are a big part of that new legislation as well. They're specifically, talked about in the legislation. So,
Mhm.
it's and they're a force to be reckoned with, in certain communities. In other communities, not so much. But yeah.
Thanks, Bruce. Has everyone had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes that Dylan shared with us? It was in the same package as the agenda. Just checking to see if everyone has, or if anyone has any changes they feel need to be made. All right. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes as is?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Second?
Second.
Approved? All right. Minutes are approved. All right. That's all we have to say. Is there anything else that we didn't cover? I think we covered everything.
oh,
Being here.
yeah, I have some news to share.
Oh, yes.
As of Tuesday, I will no longer be with the town of Farmington. I'm actually moving on to West Hartford, so I'll be doing the same thing there. But this will be my last meeting with you all.
Wow.
Wow.
Exciting, Dylan.
Yeah, you'll be
Holy
missed.
cow.
So I hope our is on Monday.
Yeah. So, well, I'll be here Tuesday.
All right.
I'll be here Tuesday. I just won't have access to the Zoom account after 4:30.
So does any of this even count, what we all talking about?
It does. Kathy was well aware of my move when we had our meeting, and this is the direction that the town would like to move in. I don't know who my replacement for the committee is going to be yet. I don't know if I'll know that before I leave or not.
Dylan.
If I do, I will share it with you. But
Wow. We've gone back and forth a lot, but I'm gonna miss you.
oh, thank you, Ron.
I mean,
I'll miss you guys
seriously.
too. Well,
Well,
I'll
good
be in
luck,
West
Dylan.
Hartford,
I
so
mean, thank
I'm
you
not
for
too far.
everything that you've done. I mean, I know we'll probably talk again, but geez.
oh, we'll talk. We'll stay in touch. I'm
Okay.
sure.
All right.
Yeah, thank
Uh-huh.
you.
I mean, West
everything.
Hartford's lucky to be getting you.
Thank you.
For
Thank
sure.
you. Yeah. So I'll be finding out a lot more about their programs and how they implement their traffic calming and all of that as I get accustomed to how they like to work and facilitate things. And they're a bit more progressive in the whole Vision Zero game than we are here. But they're more urban.
Well, their
So
mayor
the
rides,
whole-
that helps.
Right. That and their makeup of the town. It's a lot. It is a 15-minute city, so to speak.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you, Neil. I'll miss you too.
You know, that difference, you know, between urban really ultimately,
Right.
and suburban is a big difference.
Right. So, really here in Farmington, you know, you're driving to the grocery store 10 or 15 minutes. There it might be 5, so to speak, and that makes it a 10 or 15-minute bike ride.
Mm.
They're more built for this than we are, because we're more spread out, just how the town grew over time. But nevertheless, it's a little bit of a different animal over there, so be learning some new things and learning some new techniques, and I'd be happy to share with my counterparts here in Farmington if I can think of anything that would help here.
Dylan, when you see some really cool things that are done there and done well,
Yeah, I'll share them.
yeah, like don't hesitate to email us off the record, privately, whatever, however.
Not
If
at
you
all.
have any insights on, how to work with Farmington and how to work with your department and how to move things
Right.
along, and maybe some suggestions, so we could help with the new guy. It's really appreciated. And thank you so much for what you've done, the last, 5 years you've been here?
It'll be 4 coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
that's
and I've been
awesome.
with you
Thank you
guys
so
for
much.
most of that ride. But yeah, no, it's been an honor working with you all.
Yeah, I'm glad I.
I can really see the passion that everybody has towards this, and I'm now that my kids, my oldest he wants to ride his bike up and down the street. So, I'm having those same conversations with him. I'm learning from the stories that Andres has shared, about riding and getting your kids out on the bikes, the striders, and all that. So, I'm really taking it in. I go back and I remember my grandfather, my grandparents lived in Northampton, Mass. So they always had a bike trail near them. And him and his neighbor would take my brother and I, and we'd race down and go as fast as we could, and they'd be huffing and puffing, catching up to us. But cycling's important, and it should be more accessible, and it should be safer. So I commend you all for all that you do outside of your work lives and private lives. This is work for me, but all of you are volunteering your own personal time.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate the words.
yeah, I'm not far. If you guys ever need anything, you can call, email. That's fine. I'll pick up. I'll respond. I'll call back. Don't be a stranger. That's all.
Let them know in West Hartford that Farmington's trying to connect West Hartford and Farmington at the jug handle. Let them know.
I will be. I will be. I know that West Hartford has greater visions too. So
that would be awesome. We got an in West Hartford now, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck, Dylan.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, good luck.
Dylan, really, thank you for
Of
everything.
course.
Nicely said.
Dylan.
All right, everyone. Have a great evening.
You as well. Good night.